welcome to Dice and Stuff. My name is Adam, and today we are starting up a brand new podcasting campaign for you here. Don't worry, we're not stopping our other podcasts. We're just giving you more awesome. So, so we are actually developed a new game here at Dice and Stuff. This campaign is going to be called the Humaeon Campaign. So we are going to be using a Dice and Stuff created gaming module, for the rule systems that we have. And I have players here with me today. So I'm going to go through and introduce the players. I'm going to start on my right here.
I'm Sabrina.
And in the middle,
Cade.
And on the left,
I'm Rob. I'm new.
New! We have a new player here, so welcome, Rob. I'm sure this is going to be awesome for you. I'm really excited to do this campaign. For those of you that have been keeping and paying attention on Facebook and on our website, you'll have seen some kind of sneaky trailers that we've done for this. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. Let us know your feedback. If you're really rocking this podcast, let us know. Send me an email or comment or whatever. Just let us know. But anyway, I'm just going to hop right into it. We've already done character creation, the three of us, and I'm just going to give a little bit of a background on the world itself for the listeners. That way they know what is actually going on. First and foremost, the players are going to be playing people that are called Humaeons. Humaeons are genetically engineered and modified humans who were infected by a deadly virus at a young age and were either given over, found, or sold to Humaeon Corporation. Humaeon Corporation has the only known cure for this plague. However, their cure only works about 5% of the time. So out of all the people that are given to them, only 5% of them live. The rest of them all die. And to make matters worse, once the person reaches puberty, it goes down to less than 1% success rate. There's just a difference in the hormones inside the body to help battle against the virus, that once that time gets reached, it's pretty much done. So it's not really a cure for the human race, also because Humaeons cannot reproduce.
Ew.
So that's new.
I meant to ask about that.
Surprise!
No, I didn't know about that either.
Yeah, so that's why it's not a viable solution to the world. Now, just so everyone knows, the world itself has been ravaged over the past,
61 years.
61 years by a massive plague. The plague wiped out a majority of the world's population, and I can get into more details in-game, sure enough you'll find out more about it, but either way, a massive plague wiped out most of the population, and then war happened, because everyone blamed everybody else. Needless to say, satellites were knocked out of the sky, entire infrastructures of cities was knocked down, the internet died! No! So, it was bad. It was really, really bad. Now, the plague only contracts through mammals.
Free pores! My dick pics!
You're both awful. So,
Just think, the people in this hypothetical future can't listen to this recording.
unless I leave a laser disc.
Dun dun dun.
Can we just record on tape cassettes?
Feels so.
I got a bunch.
Turn disc over.
Anyway. So needless to say, the plague is actually only contractable by mammals. So any mammals that come in contact with infected individuals or infected mammals, they catch the plague extremely easy. The plague is also completely fatal. No one has been known to have lived from it if you have a Homo sapien genus, or a very closely related one. I.e., most monkeys, if not all monkeys and apes, are pretty much gone. Humans have a 100% fatality rate. Dogs, bears don't, because they don't have the Homo sapien genus in them. So the farther away you get from the Homo sapien genus, the more likely is that animal just becomes a carrier, not an actually infected animal. Okay, but eventually, if they start starving or if they have starvation, eventually that animal will succumb to the plague as well. So that's the plague. All right. So after a little while, there was the Earth's governments were all fighting each other. Then HRS, which was Humanoid Robotics Services. They have military contracts with a couple different countries. They developed a life detection program to be able to detect life functions, and they programmed it into robots who utilize laser systems to eradicate mammals around certain city structure areas, and they were able to convince the world governments to stop warring with each other. long story short, eventually peace returned to the world. The robots held the animals of the world at bay and in safe distances, perimeters, until one day, one person in Madrid got attacked by dogs, and the programmer in the area reprogrammed his unit to target that man as it's listed as fauna. And since he was listed as fauna, that robot communicated with the other robots. They listed them all as fauna, and robots turned on humanity, listing them as killable animals. Anyway, I'm going to summarize really quick here. After everything went bad, only 21 cities around the world survived. The rest of the population of the planet was decimated by the robots. The robots are still a constant threat. One of the cities is called Detroit Windsor Link, which is a city that was created by unifying Detroit, Michigan, in the States, and Windsor, Ontario, Canada, together. The closest neighbor to them is Chicago, which happened to survive because their machinery was faulty at the time that the machines were taking over. And then the other closest city to them is Winnipeg. So if you have Google Maps or whatever and you're looking around the area, there are no other cities that are populated by humans within a radius from Winnipeg is at the far end, Detroit is in the middle. Make a circle, like a line from Detroit to Winnipeg, and make a big circle on Google Maps. There's no people there at all. So that's like New York, gone. Washington, D.C., gone. Toronto, Canada, gone. They don't exist. There's nobody there. They're ghost towns. Okay? So it's pretty bad. Eventually, Britain, woohoo, launched satellites again. They were able to start a new satellite program. That made the world start to communicate with each other again. That way, people knew that there were other survivors out there, because before that point, Detroit, Chicago, and Winnipeg didn't know anybody else was alive. Now they do. Now there's a grand total of 21 cities throughout the globe, and I'm not going to go over them right now with you, but we'll find them in-game. There are 21 cities throughout the world that have survived. In Detroit Windsor Link is where the Humaeons are created. Like I said before, they're genetically engineered, because in Detroit there was a man that found the quote-unquote cure. What they did is they turned the Humaeons into super soldiers to use against to use against not only the robots but also nature itself. That way humans have a chance to live. Now, of course, not everybody in the world is very happy about this fact because they are genetically modified. They are human, but they're not humans anymore. That's why they have a new name, Humaeons. Humaeon Corporation has started kind of like a public awareness and wants to get the public on their side. So they have asked all their Humaeons, and they've also trained them to be specialized individual soldiers that are very unique, that are done in batches. That way they can go out and help people across the world. That's pretty much all the background I'm going to give you right now. Everything else will come through in-game. Now, the players here with me at the table, they have a lot more background. So, guys, feel free, pull stuff out of the history whenever you want to. If you link things together or whatever, the audience knows enough to get by. You guys will fill in the holes.
It was Milan.
Was it Milan? Oh, yeah, it was Italy.
I read the primer good.
Yeah, it was actually a guy in Milan.
It was Milan, Rob.
It was Milan.
What we are going to do is, in your character sheets, you have a whole page on the back for notes. You're going to be getting a lot of information in this, okay? And we're also going to be, not this episode, but later on, we're going to be doing contests with this as well. So viewers at home, you'll be able to keep very close attention to
Viewers?
things.
Listeners.
Like that, right there in the comment
Oh,
section.
this is going to be a fun edit later.
If you are viewing this right now, back off and stop staring at us.
How'd you find us?
I'm watching you. I see you down there on the
watching
street.
you too. Yeah, so we're going to be holding contests. So if anybody else takes notes or whatever, I might just randomly post a question for a contest. It'll have listed right in the contest what it's for.
What
and
city
then
did it start in?
Shush.
That's a good question, actually.
It's Milan. Anyway.
Madrid.
No, it's true. They don't state where the plague originally started.
Oh, where the
from.
plague started. No, they don't in there. So just to keep an ear out for that. You guys, you are all members of Humaeon Educational Batch 13.
Lucky number.
You have spent the last 15 years of your life being treated very similar to a Marine. Okay?
Hoorah!
You are tested in battle not only against other forces of the general military of the city of Detroit Windsor Link. You are also tested against simplistic robotic enemies, which have been created by Humaeon Corporation. Yes, they do have some robotics, which is pretty much frowned upon, but they are all singular units that are remote controlled. And when I say remote controlled, I mean there's humans in the other room piloting them around and fighting you by, like, Xbox controllers kind of thing. So you have actually fought robots before. You know what it feels like, Rob, to smash your hammer into a metallic frame. Okay, you're not going to be surprised by the resistance or the strength of these things when you start to fight them in real combat. They really did prepare you for these. You have also seen a couple different models with your own eyes. Humaeon Corporation has taken out the cranial unit on them, right? So they can't receive orders or even turn on, but you've, of course, inspected them. You've looked them over. If you have any points in mechanics or anything like that, you've been able to actually tinker with one or two of them because they have no brain. Okay, they can't physically turn on. So you've been able to see them. You've been able to size them up. You've been able to look at them, see how they look. That way you're not surprised. Okay? Like a lot of role-playing games I throw on people, I'm always like, and then the robots come out of nowhere, and you're like, no! No. You know everything there is to know about these people. I actually have already handed you guys my monster cards. You have the stats for all of the enemies that you're going to, well, most of the enemies you're going to be falling. I haven't, like, put down, like, bears and stuff. If you encounter a bear, that'll be a surprise because you've never fought a bear. You've only ever fought robots.
Pretty sure it's easier than a robot.
Well, I don't know.
You know, flesh versus metal.
Physically, yes.
I recommend that you stay away from bears.
In real life and in the podcast. So yeah, so you guys are all part of a batch. Now, I'll let you know, including yourself, there are 17 members of your class. Picture, if you will, remember back in high school how many people were in your class? Anywhere between, say, 15 to 40, depending on what school you were in. Imagine having the same people in that class with you for the past 15 years.
Did it start with 17?
You all would have had around the same time, yes. Because
So this is after we survived.
Yep, no, this is after. This is when you're graduating. This time period is what I'm telling you about.
No, but I'm like saying we were with the same 17 people since we were first brought in.
Yep.
I assume she's asking if
None
anybody
of you guys died in training.
Or being manipulated genetically.
No,
Well, this is after manipulation.
No, there was like probably about 18. No, it'd be a little bit more than that. It'd be about 19,500 that died. You 17 lived.
Lucky 13! Woohoo!
It's actually that's kind of ridiculous. I'll probably lower the number to be around 5,800 children died to make you 17.
Lucky 13!
They would have died
it's,
anyway.
it's what?
No,
It's,
they would have died anyway.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
it's 5%, so should only be a couple thousand.
Yeah.
I'll say 5. 5
To make batch 13, but
Yeah.
other batches were made.
Yeah, of course. Well, there was 13 total. You're number 13. You are the most recent batch. The next batch is set to graduate in 5 years, so they are approximately 5 years behind you. And then the other batch is 5 years behind that, so that's 14 and 15. 16 is cooking right now. Okay? They go in batches of 5 years. So every 5 years they'll send out another batch. So the batch that came out before you guys was 5 years ago. The estimated numbers for batches of Humaeons that are coming out, and yours was 17. Before that, they released 11 and 12 at the same time, so they let out 43 of them. And they went all over the world.
Yeah, better numbers.
Okay? Before that, batch 10 was 15. Before that, it was 21. Before that, it was 50. Before that, it was 8. Before that's 14, then 22, and so on and so forth. They've never been over 50 at a time. You guys are 17 of you.
So we're on the smaller size.
Yeah, mid to small. 17. Because they just released, like, 43 of them. So
Yeah.
you guys are graduating. You've been with these people for the last 15 years. Okay? I'm going to go through who they are, and I'm going to go through their age, and I'm going to go through their preferred weapon style, primary and then secondary. Because all of you have been trained with a primary weapon style and a secondary weapon style. And in some cases, Cade, a tertiary weapon style.
Yep.
Or in some cases, Cade, a fourth weapon style. Or in some cases, Cade, a fifth weapon style. And I can go on, but I'm not going to. All right, so starting from the very, very top,
knife.
what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to start with you three, just to make it easy. I'm going to have you give me your name, your age, quick description of yourself, primary, secondary. And I'm going to start over here this time, over with Rob, our new guy.
Hi, I'm new. First time, long time.
Well, not new to
First time
role-playing.
player,
Oh, no.
long time listener.
Yes. Yes, that's it. Exactly. So, I am going to be playing a young gentleman by the name of Colin. No last name. Well, there probably was a last name, but we don't worry about that. As Adam had mentioned, we do have primary and secondary weapon specializations. I wield a large two-handed warhammer.
Like the head of it's the size of a mini keg.
Yes. It's designed to be large. Also specializing in shotgun combat. Basic ideas to if I have to be right next to a robot, I might as well be able to take care of it at that point. As for what our dear Colin looks like, very large, very bulky, big rippling muscles, not excessively tall, probably 5'8", 5'9" or so. Very stocky, shaved head, very, very good looking. Tattoos, work on those a bit more.
Okay. Awesome. Cool. And your age?
19.
19.
Young, fresh.
So you were
very young.
Now, were you found, sold, or given?
Sold.
And so you were 4 years old when your parents sold you to Exeon.
Those bastards.
Okay. Hence the no last name. Exeon wasn't going to turn you down because, you're plagued. Might as well try. So they kind of saved your life.
They sure did.
Yes, they did.
Now, is people sold their children who weren't infected because they just wanted money?
Yeah, some people did.
Okay.
Exeon still took them.
Yeah.
That's happening.
They're regular guards now. They're not turned into Humaeons.
Oh, okay.
Like, I'll take your kid, sure. I don't care. I need other guards. I need people to, work the robots for me or clean up or be a janitor, whatever. But anyway, so Cade, what's your character?
My character's name is Xavier Scott. He is not French, even though he has a French name.
Okay.
Yay, Canada. I'm 22. I was found at the age of 7. So I do remember my parents. They probably died of the plague or...
Yep.
Yeah. I was on my deathbed when I was found. My primary weapon is an assault rifle. My secondary weapon is a two-handed sword. Now I have a customized weapon where they've been merged. I'll get more into that later.
Like a customized assault rifle with a big old blade on the...
Yeah, I have a bayonet that's the size of a greatsword. So
I'll see if I can scan that picture you do.
Yeah, I'll do a better one later. I'm not a good artist, so don't be expecting much, listeners. And then I actually have a tertiary weapon, sort of. It's a pistol with a bayonet, basically.
And a silencer.
Yeah, and a silencer. It's an auto pistol, extended clip, and a scope.
Cool. Physical description?
I'm about 5'5". I was going to say 5'8", but then he said 5'8", and I'm just like, okay, I'll go 5'5".
You can be the same height, guys. It's not against the rules.
we could switch. I could be the short one.
That's okay. I'm used to being the short one. It's in my nature.
That's why I said we could switch. You could be the tall one this time.
My last character I made actually was tall. That was the Era Liars. Check that out, listeners.
Shameless promotion. Continue.
Shameless promotion. I am fugly. I didn't put it any better. I only have a beauty of 1.
By the way, just so everybody knows, 2 is the low end of adult human average. 3 is the high end of adult human average.
So,
like 3 is like, yay, because 2.5 is actually right in the middle.
Yeah. So my reasoning is I was in a accident in training. Someone set off a cremation grenade too close, and I got burnt.
I will tell you who that was.
It's a jerk dude.
I was about to say sorry.
Juliette Vasquez.
Vasquez.
She didn't like your French name.
You're not French. Boom. So I have burn scars all over my body.
Cool.
From that. I do not hold a grudge. It was training.
You better not.
We're all learning. I'm happy I'm alive, and I take my role as a guardian seriously.
Okay, cool. All right, and Sabrina.
So my name in this game is going to be Vera. So instead of saying Zanny every time we start this, I'll be saying Vera.
Okay. 19.
My range combat is sniper rifles, which I don't think I've ever done in a game before, so it's going to be different. And my combat style is close combat. It's going to be a shield.
So not a weapon, but a shield.
I have absolutely 0 dodge.
Okay.
And very little strength. So this should be interesting. And very little health. Comparatively to
You're a
everybody else.
sniper. If you get into combat, people should be worried.
So she stands about 5'6", obviously female. She has very pale skin, which she didn't start with, but thanks to, them goofing around with genetics, she's all messed up.
Okay.
She has one dark blue eye and one sky blue eye.
Cool.
Yep. Had to go uniqueness here. She's got tattoos on her back of like angel wings. And she probably has the number 13 on her ankle
Awesome.
for Team 13.
For pride purposes, like you're prideful to be in batch 13?
She was probably young and wild and
Okay, cool.
thought it'd be cool because, unlucky 13. So she's like, aha, on my foot.
All right.
And then she's slim, but she's fit, and she's probably more kind of like maybe a little bit willowy-ish,
Okay.
maybe.
And were you sold, found?
I'm not done yet.
Sorry.
I have
Back
a
down,
picture,
boy.
which I will scan later and post. It's from 2002, but that's okay. And she has black hair, but it's like matte. It's dyed, but it's dyed like different shades of black, but none of them are shiny. It's all
Okay.
dulled. So when she's in the woods and stuff, there's no like glittering hair. Because you failed to mention to people that this was an anime-based game.
Well, yeah, I'm going to do that whenever you're done.
Okay. I might be done now. Am I done, boys?
Could be.
I presume.
Yep. Yeah,
Okay,
no.
and were you found, or were you...
No, she was found. She was found in her room playing with toys. That's where her parents put her when an unfortunate mistake happened in their community, and they locked her in a room and said, stay here. They didn't realize she was also plagued at the time. But even if she was, whatever. And then when they came to find her, she was like, yay, put me out of my misery. Like, she wasn't, distraught about it. She just wanted to be put out of her agonizing misery, and then they brought her here. So she's like, this is my life, my family. She's all about,
Sweet.
Humaeon and saving people and, not saving people.
So what I'll do then is I'll go through the rest of your class really quickly. You guys can listen to it again at your leisure if you miss things or whatever, but I'll be going slow enough that you guys can write them down if you want to. The audience, you can just pause and rewind. All right, so I'm going to go through the list just as I wrote it. And I'm going to go through male or female, name, age, and then primary, secondary. I'm not worrying about looks or anything like that unless it pops into my brain. Or unless it's short enough that I can read it to you. So, first off, female, Natasha Firsov. Don't worry about last names right now, guys. Age 24, right on, like, older than pretty much anybody else in there. Primary, rocket launcher. Secondary, a one-handed hammer. Then we have another female, Sophia Wade, age 21. Primary, spear. Secondary, shotgun. Then we have male, 19, Curtis Cross. Close combat style is his primary, which he has scavenged from Dasher Husks. He uses a pair of arm blades, and his secondary is a revolver. Then we have a male, Ross Lee, age 20. He uses a comma and chain as his primary. His secondary is a submachine gun. Then we have female, Jessica Underwood, age 22. She uses a two-handed katana and throwing knives. The katana is her primary.
We have the ninja of the group.
So then we have another male, just Henry. That's just his name. He's 19 years old, and he uses 2 dagger pistols. Cade. Same style that you have, but he has 2 of them. And then we have Clayton Briggs, who is sizable comparison to like a giant. The guy is 6 foot tall. He's like got 4 out of 5 strength point. He's huge. He's 21. His weapon is a double-handed battle axe. That's his primary. His secondary is a machine pistol. So he just has it in his belt in case he needs it for some reason, but he doesn't use it. And then we have male, John O'Neill, 21 years old. His primary is a heavy machine gun on a tripod. And then if anybody gets too close, he can beat him down with a longsword. But he really doesn't like using the longsword. Then we have another male, Duke Hopper, 23 years old. His primary is a regular bolt-action rifle, and then he has like a half-moon single-handed hefted axe on his side.
How old was he?
He's 23, sorry.
And how old was John?
John's 21. Boris is the next male. He's 22 years old. He is also a sniper, and then his backup is a kukri. If somebody gets close, he's like, well, by the time they get close enough, I don't need anything other than a dagger. I'm just going to run.
Am I like the only person that doesn't use a bladed weapon or some other type of handheld weapon?
Oh, wait till you get this one. Male, Max Michaels, the other oldest person in the group. He's also 24. He uses a combined weapon. It's a halberd shotgun. The barrel of the shotgun comes out on either side of the blade of the halberd, so he holds it straight at someone and can pump action the shotgun.
Gunblades.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Then we have a female, Veronica Rush. By the way, Rush, her last name she chose herself. She doesn't know what her other name was. She's 23. Her primary weapon is a whip, and her secondary is a revolver. She usually uses them at the same time.
All I can think of is Indiana Jones.
This is such an anime game.
It is an anime game. Then we have male Raymond Blackburn. He's 20. Also a name he picked himself. He also has a mixed weapon. He has a double-handed hammer that's a little bit smaller than Colin's. However, what he does is he holds it forward, clicks a button, and a spike protrudes down the bottom of it, so it impacts into the ground, and then it's a heavy machine gun. And the other half of the hammer is his drum barrel.
You're welcome.
And then lastly, Juliet Vasquez. She is 20 years old. She is a hand-to-hand combat specialist. Doesn't use any weapons except for grenades and hand-to-hand. That's all she uses. So she's throwing and hand-to-hand. That is the whole group. Now, I'm going to ask you guys a quick question here. You have been with these people for 15 years. At any time, and you can have fun with this, you can not have fun with it, it's up to you. At any time, have you or are you in a relationship with any of the people I have previously mentioned?
Oh, hells yeah.
How many and whom? And are you still with them? Because again, you've only been around the 17 people for the last 15 years.
So we were allowed to interact with other batches?
The other ones are 5 years younger than you, minimum.
That's right.
And they're in their own training.
Never mind!
Or they're 5 years older and you'd never see them because they're not here anymore. They're out there in the world.
They were not interested in us 5 years
Can I-
ago.
Yeah.
Can I have your list of people?
Yeah, I can pass it over to you if you come get it.
Who is the guy with the double daggers?
Which one?
Henry.
The dagger pistols, sorry. Henry?
Dagger pistols? That was Henry?
That was the only name I missed. And no, I'm not in a relationship with him.
I was just wondering.
I'm
if you mentioned
just... Yeah. I'm just debating because I think it's funny, but I just feel weird about it.
What, for the lady who blew up your face? If you want to, she'll still be with you because she could still feel bad for it.
You gotta figure out.
No. It wouldn't be out of guilt.
No, it wouldn't be out of pity, but it would be one of those after the training, you guys would start to talk, and she'd actually go to your hospital bed, of course. And that's when she actually started to get to know you. And
You're gonna at least get some bedside visits. Maybe a pity date at the bare minimum.
bare minimum.
It may have started with pity, but it's no longer pity.
She
So
blew
you're
part of your
still
face
together?
off.
Because I own my scars.
So you're still together?
Sure.
Okay, write it down. Juliet is it Juliet Vasquez is the last one on the list?
Yep.
Juliet Vasquez.
It's funny she's the fourth on my list because...
Rob?
I'm thinking about it. I'm not whoever I was with. I'm not with them anymore.
Then you have to decide whether it was a good or bad breakup.
Let's put you with Veronica, the whip person.
She definitely sounds like a firecracker.
Good or bad ending?
Veronica, probably bad.
Are you going to roll to find out, or are you just going to tell me?
She was 3 years older than you, man.
Good.
Sorry, 4 years. She's 4 years older than you.
She's 4 years older than you?
She's 23.
Okay, so we'll say this then. Sabrina, what is the sixth male down that list? Because that's who she left you for.
Clayton Briggs.
And is he the other big guy? What weapon does he have?
He's the giant, yeah.
He's the giant. She left for one muscle man to the other muscle man.
She knows her type.
There you go. Now, it would have been one of those moments you guys just broke up, that kind of thing. Now, just so I know, I also need to know seriousness of the relationship. Were you guys together, like, approximately how long? How serious were you? I know it sounds weird to ask at the beginning of the role-playing game, but I think it adds character.
Yeah, no. It's good. It's good to establish your relations with these characters.
Of course. And then
There's
if you
just
want to have
so many of them.
Also, if you want to have good friendships with them as well, you can choose that as
that's-
well. And again, we can get more into this the more we play
Kinda.
as well.
Get more into it as we go and more get a chance to kind of look these over rather than just learning all their names 2 minutes ago.
Yep. Absolutely. And I'll actually give you what they look like eventually, too.
Yeah.
Veronica, by the way, I very much picture Veronica either A, and I'll let you decide for me, Rob. A, tight blonde curls. B, tight black curls.
Tight blonde curls.
Tight blonde curls it is.
I was going to say black just because of Veronica and Betty from Archie.
No, tight blonde curls. I'm also going to give her glasses for fun.
So the whip
You
girl
look like
has
you were writing
glasses?
something down.
Whip girl has glasses. So, Sabrina, were you with anybody?
Probably not more than just, like, social dating.
Okay. Just been like go out on a date with them kind of thing. Nothing serious.
No, she's concentrating more on the training and stuff because she is all about like, we are the saviors of humanity. These guys are my family.
So after a couple dates, it's like, well, you're pretty intense.
Yeah, it's
All right.
too much.
That's fine. Or it could just be like social dating for fun. Like if you guys go out with a bunch of people, you might go on a quote unquote date with somebody instead.
Yeah, nothing
Your
serious.
dates, by the way, have been limited to the Exion grounds and or escorts into
All right
the
to
town.
the cantina. Ooh,
Maintenance shed.
the mess hall. That rooftop over there.
Maintenance shed.
So, Rob, how serious were you and her?
Maintenance shed.
I'd say pretty serious.
Pretty serious. Okay.
Maybe 6-8 months though.
6-8 months, but you guys got pretty serious.
Yeah.
All right.
Kind of burned out.
Fair enough.
Hot and fast.
Cool. Gain, how many?
How many what?
How many people you've been with in the relationship thing? Just her? Which is fine.
How many people are 17?
And or how long?
Some of those are dudes.
I know.
Okay.
I feel like the majority of them are
Future
dudes.
thinking character. Come on. No, I would have just been her. I'm too
been her.
ugly.
After her. He's like, I marked him. He's mine. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I used to be a 5.
And seriousness?
Scale 1 to 20. 18.
So you're both very serious.
Yeah.
Like, you're together.
Yeah.
And you've probably been together for a couple years now.
Yeah.
Because it's serious.
Well, now she's mastered grenades. I hope.
Yes.
You
It's
feel
super
safe.
serial.
Yeah. So you're like together. You're like a... Roll me a quick D6, Cade.
Oh, God. 4.
4. You've been together for 4 years.
So we hooked up when I was 18,
18.
and she was 16.
Yep.
Ages.
It's a future. Anyway.
It's the future.
We're ageless now.
I will have at least casually dated several of the other girls.
Okay. Would one of them have been her?
I'm seeing some head shaking.
No.
Okay.
We'll say no.
He didn't get down the list that far. Or up it, whatever direction you
You're
want.
above him on the list, so he started with his own name and then went down.
Figured I'd work my way. Well, you see, my list is different anyway because I started writing them as I was hearing the names. So,
Okay.
regardless,
All right. Well, the most serious one would have been, of course,
If you want to have dated her,
Right.
go ahead. But it's like one of those like, hey, let's go to the cantina. Hey, let's go to the movies. Oh man, I gotta get up in the morning. Ah, hoorah! Go us! Go team!
clearly neither of us really had our heads in it, but I was in it for something different than you were, and you decided that you didn't want to be in it at all.
Because you probably asked her for a date, and she's like, oh, I got a date with so and so tomorrow.
And I moved on to another girl.
Fair enough.
That one didn't end well either because she heard me say, and I'm moving on to another girl.
All right. So just to let you guys know, I'm going to roll a dice really quickly for each one of you to determine enemy.
Frenemy?
Delightful.
Is this a frenemy or an enemy?
Well, you're only 17 of you, so they are not outwardly like trying to
So
kill
they're
you.
frenemies?
Yeah.
They're on our
Right.
team, right?
Rivals.
They're frenemies.
Rivals.
I like frenemy.
Rival is good.
No, we gotta make it a new
Well, with a
term.
rival, you both have to kind of be going for the same thing. Frenemy,
Oh, man.
frenemy might be more appropriate.
Okay, now, I legitimately rolled this. Rob,
Yes.
your frenemy is Clayton Briggs.
Of course it is! It's because he's taller than me, isn't it?
Oh,
He's
Clayton
only taller than you by like
Briggs
what?
and
2
you.
inches?
You know what, to be fair, is he's also older.
Yeah.
Interesting bit of statistics, there's only one girl who's anywhere near my age. All the rest of the girls are older. Except for you.
Hi.
Yeah, sorry, there are 2 girls.
All right.
I was just too young for you. I get it.
You know, older women, more mature, more experienced. Yeah, of 17, there's only 6 women.
Okay. Boris.
Hypothetical.
Boris?
Boris. The sniper.
He doesn't like me?
Nope.
Do I know why?
It was not about the girl. I'd be surprised.
No, it totally is.
He's jealous that I'm with her. He thinks that she's only with me because of...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then he sees everything that you're doing in the combat and all that kind of stuff, and you just make him mad. And it's been growing over the past 4 years. So you have the biggest frenemy right now.
I think his is just like an honest to god rival, like
Yeah,
enemy.
he does
not
not
even a
like
friend of
you
me.
at all. Like, don't be in the range or downrange from him randomly in the middle of nowhere. He does not like
He
you.
might try to kill you in the field. Have fun with that.
Could be a blade envy thing. Kukris are pretty small.
All right, let's see you, Sabrina.
It doesn't matter who it is, because I'm going to be completely oblivious to it. I'm all sunshines and rainbows from every orifice.
Okay.
Cry
John
tears of joy.
O'Neill, the heavy machine gunner who also has a longsword.
Hold on. Mr. Compensation, gotcha.
John O'Neill, and I'm going to say this. John O'Neill wanted to have serious relationship with you, but you kept blowing him off for other guys, and blowing him off for other guys. And then eventually, he finally confronted you about it, and you would have said, we have training to worry about. I don't have time for a serious relationship, because he wanted to be serious.
Yeah, and I was just dating people to make them feel good.
And as soon as you say, I'm just dating people to make them feel good, oh, he does not like you. Now, he's not a rival, he's like a frenemy. / more of just a...
Again, she's completely oblivious to it.
Right.
She just thinks he's, upset because he didn't like her attitude about it, but she's like, whatever, I've got time for that. Hoorah!
What are you, like the team morale officer? You're going about it in a very weird way.
All right, everybody, you're going to want to write this name down. You have it in your backstory. His name is Dr. Martin Brooks. He is the one who created the very first batch of Humaeons. He is also the headmaster and the CEO of Humaeon Corporation.
He's the son of the guy who originally found the first cure.
Yes. He is the son of Dr. Ahab Brooks. Yeah, so he is actually the one. He's still in charge. He's still alive. He's an old man, but he's still alive.
Yeah, because it wasn't that long ago that they even made the first batch.
Right.
The plague hit
It's been 61 years
years.
ago. Yeah, sorry, because the first batches were only like a couple months apart. So yeah, he's been alive the whole time.
It's in your
18 years ago is when the first Humaeons were shipped out.
There we go.
Sorry, 18. Sorry, so there's actually only a couple years between you guys. 5,
Oh, well, that was 28 years ago that he started.
10, 15. So yeah.
Regardless, he's an old man. Gotcha.
Yeah, it's been 18 years, so it's like your match, the
Okay.
5 years before you, 5 years before that, 5 years before that. There was a whole bunch.
Yeah, because 34 years ago is when the first Humaeons were made, and that's when the guy died.
Right.
Hi there, everybody. Adam here. I just wanted to hop on and tell you all that we are super happy about bringing you this new podcast series, the Humaeon Campaign. Now, don't worry. We're not actually changing anything to air the consortium. We just really wanted to give you all more content. So now you'll be having 2 different podcast campaigns to listen to instead of 1. Now, I'd also like to take this time to remind you that if you have not yet had the chance, make sure to go to our Facebook page for Dice and Stuff and hit that like button. While you're there, you can comment on any new podcast releases that we have, and you can also keep up to date on anything that we're doing. And I really want to thank you all for your support with Dice and Stuff. You all have been amazing. The comments that you've been leaving us, the emails that we've been getting, you guys are all amazing, and we cannot wait to keep releasing these podcasts for you of the Humaeon Campaign. We think they're great. We're having a blast doing them, and we can't wait for you guys to hear them. But anyway, have yourselves a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you next time.